The Rolex Daytona's story over the past decade could easily be the script for an epic movie saga, minus the popcorn. It's legendary, sure, but it's also been a major player in the drama of soaring secondary market prices. Now that those numbers are starting to mellow out, it's time to remember why the Daytona is more than just tabloid fodder. It's a masterpiece of design and functionality. With the price tag taking a nearly 50% nosedive recently, we seized the chance to reacquaint ourselves with the watch's finer points, dig into the latest updates from last year's Watches and Wonders, and see to it what the Daytona means to the watch world as we cruise into 2024. You see, the Daytona wasn't always the crown jewel in Rolex's collection. Back in 1962, Rolex nabbed the timing gig for the Daytona 500, and by 1963, they had launched the reference 6239 Cosmograph, with Daytona newly scripted on the dial. Fast forward to 1964, and snagging a Daytona was as easy as pie. No lines, no wait lists, just walk in and pick one up. It wasn't exactly the hot ticket item it is today, but as the years rolled by, its charm began to resonate with watch aficionados, particularly after the switch in 1988 to the automatic El Primero base caliber in the reference 16520. Just goes to show, even watch icons have their awkward phases before hitting the big time. Looking back over the past 25 years, the Daytona hasn't just been riding the wave of popularity, it's been the surfer commanding the sea. But everything shifted in 1999 when Rolex launched its first automatic in-house chronograph caliber, the 4130, setting the stage for what was to come. Fast forward to the 2010s, and vintage models started to catch everyone's eye, but nothing prepared us for 2017. That's when Paul Newman's very own 6239, with its effortlessly cool Panda dial, was auctioned for an eye-watering $17.8 million at Phillips. That auction was the match that lit the Daytona fever worldwide, proving once again that some watches don't just tell time, they make history. Now let's take a quick detour to Watches and Wonders 2023, where Rolex unveiled the new Daytona, the 126500LN. This isn't just a facelift, it's more like a full cosmetic surgery that demands a second look. The lugs have bulked up for a more balanced profile, and while they say it's 40 millimeters across, the bezel measures a more svelte 38.7 millimeters. Talk about deceptive charm. The case has slimmed down to a trim 11.9 millimeters, and the crown guards have toned down their pointiness for a friendlier fit. As for the bezel, it's now cozying up to a stainless steel ring that gives the ceramic a bit more armor. It's like Rolex decided to toughen up while keeping it chic. Some might cheer for the update, others might miss the old-school vibe, but hey, isn't variety the spice of life? The bracelet had a bit of a nip and tuck too, keeping its 20 millimeters width, but now comes with polished and brushed links that flow into a secure Rolex clasp, complete with a 5 millimeters Easy Link extension, for those days when a little breathing room goes a long way. Not only that, the usual crowd of 5 lines of text under the crown logo at 12 o'clock has been put on a diet, giving the dial a more streamlined appearance. The Panda version really struts these tweaks, with its slimmer black rings around the subdials, creating a striking contrast against the white backdrop. The applied indices have slimmed down as well, nodding to the Zenith El Primero models of the 80s but with a modern twist. There's also a sly little crown now peeking out from beneath the 6 o'clock index, adding just a hint of royalty. While much remains familiar, there's a playful splash of red at the 602 marker, and the lume on the hands and markers continues to do its luminous duty, glowing just enough to be noticed without showing off. Under the hood of the new 126500LN, there's a neat surprise. The vertical clutch superlative chronometer 4131, a significant update marking the first revamp of the Daytona's engine in nearly a quarter century. This new movement is quieter than a whisper, thanks to its beefed-up ball-bearing system. It's engineered for smooth sailing, with a chronograph escapement and a Paracon balance spring to fend off magnetic misadventures, plus a Paraplex shock absorber to keep it ticking precisely, no matter the bumps along the road. Although it's all hidden behind a solid back because Rolex likes to keep some mysteries for the higher-end models, the inside boasts a sleek look with a skeletonized rotor and flashy gold-filled engravings. It's accurate to within about 2 seconds per day and ready to go the distance with a 72-hour power reserve, perfect for a long weekend escapade. Quick break. Why not subscribe and join the Opulent Oasis community? Stay ahead with our top-notch content. Back to the discussion. When we talk about Rolex, it's not like one iconic design jumps out. There's a whole lineup. Classics like the Submariner and GMT Master have not only captured hearts, but have also rocketed the brand into pop culture stardom throughout the 20th century. Fast forward to the last decade, and the Daytona has been hogging the limelight. It's quite the glow-up for a model that was once just another option in the 1960s and 70s, now sitting pretty as the crown jewel of modern-day Rolex. Back in March 2022, the Daytona reference 116500LN was the belle of the ball on the secondary market, snagging a cool $49,500, a stark contrast to its humble retail price of just under $155,000. Zip ahead to August 28, 2024, and it's a whole new ballgame. The price has taken a nosedive to $26,514. Meanwhile, the new kid on the block, the 126500LN, is trading at $32,950, which hovers just above its retail tag of $155,100. Despite this roller coaster in pricing, the buzz around the Daytona hasn't lost its buzz. In the eyes of collectors, this watch has soared from being just another timekeeper to a veritable holy grail, treated more like a museum exhibit than something you'd actually dare to strap on your wrist. So, has the hype managed to dim Daytona's sparkle? Well, it's not a straightforward yes or no answer. On one hand, the buzz has catapulted the Daytona into the spotlight of modern Rolex stardom. But here's the kicker. Its fame has rocketed to such heights that many true watch lovers find it hovering out of reach, tagged with prices that make you wince. It's a bit of a bummer considering the Daytona checks every box for a top-tier watch. Its design is a showstopper. It blends into any lifestyle like it was born there, and its slim figure makes it a standout in the sports watch crowd. A watch this fabulous should be outliving its best life, not gathering dust in a safe. Luckily, with some recent shifts in the secondary market, it seems we might be inching back to a more down-to-earth watch collecting vibe. If you happen to have a Daytona in your collection, don't just let it sit pretty. Strap it on and let it collect stories, not just compliments. Alright everyone, that's a wrap on our deep dive into the Rolex Daytona as it stands in the mighty year of 2024. It's tough to find another ticker that buzzes through the watch world quite like the Daytona. Sure, it's a stellar timepiece, but let's be honest, it's the drama around its exclusivity that really keeps the gossip mills running. What's your take? Are you over the hype or secretly wishing for it to drop into a more attainable bracket? Spill your thoughts in the comments. If you had a blast diving into the Daytona drama with us here at Opulent Oasis, don't just sit there. Smash that thumbs up, hit subscribe, and ring the bell like it owes you money so you don't miss out on our next luxury escapades. Every like, subscribe, and comment keeps our creative juices flowing and the cameras rolling. So join the Opulent Oasis crew and let's keep exploring the swanky universe of high-end watches together. Your support is what helps us keep dishing out the glitz, glam, and gears, literally.